What's going on, everyone? Let's do some stream maintenance. First thing we always do. Let's turn down that music, maybe a little bit. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Sam Lazarus, creative director for Rokoko, and welcome to another Rokoko office hours. And this week, we're going to be doing things for Rokoko Video and the new animation challenge, Love at First Move. So, normally office hours is just a time when we're live and you can ask workflow questions. What's up, Kana? Good to see you. And, especially right now, we have the animation challenge running, which we're going to run through kind of an overview of in a second. But if you have any questions, I'm here live to answer them for the next month, 5 weeks or something. I'll be focusing on the challenge. And today we're going to make some Rokoko Video Mocap, which is our free AI mocap tool that we just released, Rokoko just released. We're going to make some mocap, but then we're going to go through how to do retargeting, soup to nuts, finding a character, rigging the character, getting the character into Blender, Cinema 4D, and Unreal, and getting our mocap on that character. Mocap time, you know it, Kana. So that's kind of the plan, and yeah, ask questions and let me know if the audio's weird or if there's music problems or anything like that. So we have an amazing Discord. Kana here in the chat is a huge part of, and Alberto, and the rest of our team. And right here is the channel for the animation challenge. So you can find tons of information, or you can ask questions on the Discord. And that's a good place to just find good resources, Rokoko-based resources. So here's our, animation challenge channel. Here's the new challenge. It gives you a link to the challenge website, which actually I'm going to head to right now. And let's just look through this a little bit. So again, this is Love at First Move. The challenge runs from December 20th to January 27th. I think it's a great idea. The idea is that you need to create 8 seconds of video for a CG character's dating profile, which I think is hilarious. Nova, what's going on? Hopefully this will be educational. If you're new to mocap, you're in the right spot, and you can join the contest. Win some awesome shit. Can I say that? I think I can. It's my stream. But yeah, so you have 35 more days, which is tons of time. You have to use Rokoko Video, which is our free AI mocap tool, to enter. And we have the cuffing season. Here's our announcement video. You can register right here. You'll get an email with even more details once you register for the contest, the prizes. I mean, this is what we're all here for. So there's actually going to be 4 prize categories, but the 3 big ones are best curated profile, best render, nicest crib, which is just like most interesting character and environment and kind of presentation, and then rigged to perfection, which is the best motion. So that's, I think editing the mocap that comes out of Rokoko Video is totally allowed, and so I'm sure people will be doing that, and that's kind of what this one will be, is what was the best motion someone got out of Rokoko Video, putting it through its paces. Then there'll also be a community challenge, or a community favorite prize, which I think we're going to talk about more later, as well as the judges. We're going to get into that later. Ooh, I love this. I love that we added this. Look at this. So cool. And also you can book a personal one-on-one. This is more about if you're interested in buying. Oh, look, Francesco and Paulina, awesome team members here. But that's always a thing if you're interested in going down the rabbit hole on mocap a little bit more beyond just the AI mocap that we're going to be doing right now. So let's do it. Let's make some motion capture. I'm going to go to video.rokoko.com. Don't make noises, phone. Sign in with my Rokoko ID. So all you need to do is, and we youtube.com. Let me go find the tutorial that we put out for Rokoko Video. I'll put that in the chat. Videos. Getting started. Okay, so this is this is our getting started tutorial. And this goes through everything that you need to know in more detail. So if you want that, I'll put it in the chat. Seeing some things in the chat. Rokoko video is free. A Turkish voiceover. You can add subtitles. No, we don't. I would just submit 2 versions maybe with subtitles and without. Ideally, it doesn't have subtitles because we don't want burn-in, because there's actually going to be text like of the profile covering maybe your animation. So we ideally don't want music and we don't want graphics. I think maybe you could get clever about where to put the subtitles. Maybe they're in the scene, like on a TV behind the character or something. I don't know. Or just submit it. And I'm not sure. Check the rules for that. I think we said no burn-in, but if they're forced subtitles for like Turkish, I don't know. That seems warranted. So maybe you just submit 2 versions, one with and one without. Trying to answer questions. Okay, so here is, and always go on the Discord for that is the ultimate arbiter. I am not the ultimate arbiter of the contest. That's our wonderful, like, Barbara and Vanya and people on the Discord who set up the contest and know more officially what the rules are. I would submit 2 videos. Okay. So yeah, let's make some motion capture. So this is Rokoko video. This is the, you just access it from your browser. This is Firefox. If we hit create new scene, we're gonna call this RKV office hours. Oh, my throat. 01. And we are going to select a local video file. So we're actually gonna record something. Yeah, Yaman, hopefully that answers your question, kind of. You can use your webcam, so you could just use your webcam. I'm streaming right now, so I'm not going to use my webcam. I'm going to record a video, because we can do that when we're in OBS. And then we're going to load that up. And what I'm going to do is record a couple different motions that we'll use maybe for each program. So I have like a Batman character I think we're going to play with, so I'll do like a Batman like scared by a bat, and then I'll just do like dancing and I don't know, waving, I guess. We'll just do something like that. And what's great about if you record, so I'm gonna record full screen, and let me turn off my background blur because we don't need that. We need it to be sharp. But I can record several movements, right, in one video clip, and then I can trim out the ones that I want for each animation, right? So I don't have to have one long mocap clip that has 3 different animations. I'll be able to trim out the ones I want, which I think is really great. I have my cool I Heart email shirt on. And the other thing for Rokoko video, we have a list of best practices kind of in the tutorial and things like that, but you don't want to be wearing black. You don't want a wide angle of view. You can see this is a really wide angle camera. So I'm gonna make it narrower. You want to keep your body in the frame. I'm going to go back there. You want the camera to be static. You want it to be hip height, ideally. This is actually about... So it's a little high, but it'll be fine. It just might mess with the feed a little bit. But those are kind of some of the ground rules for recording, for uploading and processing video on Rokoko video to get some AI mocap. Okay, so we are going to start recording. That. Okay. So that's the Batman. Then we're just gonna do dancing. Then we're just gonna do like idles and waves. Boom. Mocap made. So that was it. That was the whole process, essentially. God, I gotta turn my background blur back on. Feel naked without it. Okay. So now we're going to hop back in and we're just going to upload that file that we just made into Rokoko Video. You can see here it is. I just recorded it right in OBS, you know. You could do it on your phone. I think that's probably the best way to do it because you could go find a solid background. You could make sure that it was hip height and everything. But you can see what's really great is we get to trim what we want. And so I'll just use this same video file. And this is a little dark, so you probably want the room to be like a little bit brighter. We'll see how it'll do. You never know. I mean, and the great thing about Rokoko Video is you can always just pop in and do another take. Like, it's so easy and quick. So we're gonna hit turn into animation. We'll see what we get. Maybe I'll have to open up this window. Tayo, what's up? Hello from the Netherlands. Oh, man, global. We're global on this stream, baby. Okay, so we are uploading. And so the first, and most of the stream now, I mean, our mocap is done. Does it help if there are less objects in the background when recording? So technically, I mean, so yes, it does, right? Ideally, what you would have for the best possible recording, our developers tell me, right? I'm just a messenger because I don't know how any of this works. You would want a completely like a solid color for the background that is one thing, and then your clothes and your body would all kind of stand out from that color. So like white, pure white is probably good, maybe pure black, like brown, I don't know. But yeah, the way that it's working in a large part is contrast of your body against the background. So in theory, if I'm, you know, the more things that there are for the computer to have to think about, like, oh, there's a suit back there and there's leaves, and in theory, that can make it worse. So yeah, you want to have it be as solid color as possible. But that being said, you know, the most important thing is just that it's static. I think that's really much more important. If the camera is moving or if the camera is really wide angle, it's gonna mess with it more than if there are things in the background. Hello from Arizona. Pyre Nova. I bought my first mocap suit last week. It comes in the second. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you mean the smartsuit Pro, but either way, that's great. It's fun to have a mocap suit. I hope it's a smartsuit Pro. Okay, so yeah, you know, we've made our mocap. That's it. That's for the mocap portion from the mocap company stream. But now for the rest of the stream, what we're gonna do is hop into these programs, do the retargeting process, soup to nuts, and I kind of want to wait. Let's open up Rokoko Studio Beta. So you need to hop into Rokoko Studio Beta to actually get the mocap takes that Rokoko Video will spit out. Again, this is just a browser window, right? You need to open up Rokoko Studio Beta. Just use the same ID that you signed up with. Beta just had a massive update. Beta is like better than ever. Beta is like coming along. I'm hoping to be using it full time very soon. So it's not loaded up yet, and I'll make myself a little bit smaller. It's not loaded up yet because it's not finished. So it's syncing. So now I could shut down this page and it will keep processing in the background. I like to just leave the page open because why not? Nice, Pyre. Ariance. That's great, but I need facial expressions too. So I think we will play with facial expressions as well. It's harder to get glove data onto a Rokoko. It's harder to combine two mocap takes onto a single character. Totally possible, but harder. So that's why getting gloves is pretty annoyingly tough, I think. But getting face is there's a bunch of different ways we can do it. The hardest thing with face capture is just you need a character that is able to do it. You need a character that has been rigged with the right blend shapes. So I have a couple of those. Maybe we'll use one or two. And we went through this on the webinar that we just had, actually. But we can add some face capture, and I can go through that and how I would do it. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. I like to stream it in and record it onto the character because I find retargeting facial motion capture is even worse then retargeting bones. Okay, recording done. So now we can go into, how's my audio? Let me know if the music is too high or too low, please, too. So I can never tell. So we go back into Rokoko Studio. It's not here, right? Hit refresh. Ooh, look at that. A brand new project just showed up. This is always fun too, because you're like, how was this a messed up take? Was this pretty good? You never know. And actually in the background, what I'm going to do is in this same scene, I'm just going to re-upload that data and get started on our next clip. So it can be doing that in the background while we get started, which I just think is such a great way to do this. I love this. UI is very simple, but our team just killed it. So much hard work went into this. Okay, so here's just dancing, right? Dancing is the second one. Turn into animation. And now let's see what we got from our first run through. So this was Batman. Okay, so I love this. This is going to be great. So if it's Batman, I kind of want to do Cinema 4D first, but I actually think the thing that most people are probably here for is Blender and Unreal. So maybe we'll start with Blender. Is there a face mocap app on Android that I suggest? Jakeson Productions. No, there isn't. That's the kind of the problem with this commercial. Face Good or Faceware actually is the best for Android, in my opinion. It's actually relatively low cost, and it does any 2D capture of faces quite well. One of them's really expensive, and one of them's like reasonable. Faceware and Face Good. That is would be the best Android if you don't have access to an iPhone. iPhones just, they bought this, what technology, just for the animojis essentially, and they, snatched it up. And so that's why they have such a stranglehold on the mocap, facial mocap kind of world right now. Okay. Sorry, I tried experimenting with the video capture, ran into problems. I think, yeah, dark jeans and black boots. Yeah, no black, ideally. Brighter clothes. Yeah, so it needs black. It just has a hard time understanding how it's rotating, and it has a hard enough time. But yeah, I'm going to save this for the Batman because, we're going to do in Cinema 4D. We just added an offline mode to beta, which is really cool. So this is uploading, so I kind of want to use the dance for Blender. Well, in the meantime, while this is going, we can... Okay, hopefully nothing will go wrong with the stream because it's been acting up. We can export this. So let's call this Batman Scared. Scared by bats, which I think would be a funny CG dating profile for Batman. Is he's waving and then a bat flies in. It kind of spooks him. And you'd have to fix these arms, right? But we're gonna add to export list. I'm going to export it at 30. Include reference pose. Yep. We don't need the body mesh. And we are going to export to not there. Actually, we will. We're just going to keep exporting to our temp file, but that's okay. Is the video capturing color? I'm wondering if it'll contrast. Yes, contrast helps the most. So you want contrast, but black is a tough one. Contrast with the background. Yeah, that's super key. Okay, so I'm going to open up Blender now. And actually, is this done? Okay, it's not. But we need to do a couple other things. We need to find a character. So let's go find a free character. You know where we go to find free characters is Sketchfab. Because we are going to rig this character on Mixamo. because I've got a great Mixamo control rig workflow that's a little complicated. We're going to put out a proper tutorial for it soon, but we're going to go soup to nuts. So we need to go get a character. So let's, you know, if we go to, actually just go to Sketchfab, explore, characters and creatures, downloadable, and we're just looking for any creature, any character in like a T-pose that is appropriate for our stream. Boom. Look at this. 41,000 polygons. Don't know why this is so dense, but it don't matter. We're gonna use this bunny. Kiara, awesome, looks great. We're gonna download it in, sure, Blender, because I guess that's gonna be how it is textured. We might have to use, ooh, Luigi, hello. Hold on a second. I like an FBX. Give me an that guy looks cool. Stray robot. Okay. Now, 500,000 polygons. We don't need that. What is this? This guy looks cool. 8,000. Now, this is what we're talking about. This looks rad. Pace Gaming. Dope. OBJ. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So we got our model. This is what we're going to use. We're going to rig it on Mixamo. And this will probably be really weird with the arm here, but it'll probably be okay. Okay, so this is done. So let's check out. This is Blender 3.4. And we're going to go Blender, then we're going to do Cinema 4D, and then we're going to do Unreal. Because Unreal has a tendency to crash my computer while I'm on stream. So we're going to do that last. Hit refresh, because I want to see that new take that we just added. Offline mode working its magic here, which is really cool. Okay, so this was dancing, remember. Okay, so I think, so this is, so we're going to retarget, and then I'm going to show you a workflow on how to fix that arm, which actually is going to be pretty easy to do. You can totally use the mocap in Unity. Use it in Unity. It's just, as soon as you hit export, it's an FBX. It starts in a T-pose. So it's great. Is it possible to rig? Yeah, of course. You can rig low poly models. You can rig anything. You know, we're going to use Mixamo to rig it. Yeah, you don't have to throw tons of polys. It can be anything. It could be a cube man, you know? We're going to use Mixamo to rig. So we're going to start with an OBJ in a second. But anyway, so this looks pretty good, but you can see this hand being freaking out back here. I think that if we look at the footage, so that's right here. And I think because there's not a lot of light in this footage, like I should have opened up this window. It's just, it can't tell where my arm, like especially this like foreshortening, I think, of a bone, it's gonna have a rough time with. But we're gonna say, hey, let's try and fix this footage. Or I could, if I don't want to go through like a mocap editing process, which if I'm new to motion capture, maybe I don't, I just re-record it and I get more light and I keep my arms different. I use brighter clothes. Use a green screen, as you're saying, Lethan. You know, just re-record it. That's always an easy solution. Okay, but we're gonna call this dance. We'll call it wonky arm because it's got a wonky arm. Add to the export list. Under exports, we're not gonna include a body mesh, skeleton preset, human IK, export clips. Okay, so at this point, what have we done? We have downloaded a character, and let's remember we got a character from Sketchfab. Let's import the OBJ. Downloads. Hold on, I think it comes in as a zip. Yep. Okay, let's put this on our desktop, which is always the cleanest of places to put things. And I'm just unpacking the, you know, the zip file that we got from Sketchfab of that cool character. Now if I go back into Blender, I'm going to go to the desktop. Oh my god, my desktop is a mess. But we're looking for source, and actually we just do it by date modified. OBJ, import clip. Looking freaking cool. Looks awesome. Not coming in with the textures, but that's okay. And actually what I'm going to do is we're just going to go, because this character looks okay. Remember, it doesn't have a rig. So this is like, and the workflow that I'm about to run through, it relies on having a Mixamo character. You don't have to, we can do retargeting to a character with a non-Mixamo skeleton. And we have tutorials for all of this. And I'll try to put them in the description afterwards. But this is, you know, how you would go about if you find a character online, like on Sketchfab for free. I'm trying to keep this as free as possible of what we're going through. You would download it. Maybe it has a wonky skeleton. If you're going back up to Mixamo, you'd like maybe remove that skeleton. And again, you don't have to use Mixamo. You could just use whatever. There's lots of characters on Sketchfab who come with rigs. Like anything that's animated will have a rig already. And you can just bring that into Blender. Where am I? And use that. But for the IK control rig workflow we're about to do, you need a Mixamo rig. And again, we're gonna put out. I have a free project file for Blender that we'll put in the description. Now, if we go to T-Pose, we need to download our characters at T-Pose. We hit download. There we go. And create a new Blender project. Delete the default cube. We're going to import our Mixamo character that we just downloaded, T-Pose 2. Whenever you import characters in Blender, go down to Armature, Automatic Bone Orientation. You want to turn it on. What do we got here? Oh god, he's really tiny. He's really, really tiny. We're just going to scale him up. We're actually going to have to delete. So it came with some keyframes. Maybe I'm blocking it, but there's some keyframes down here on this character. So we're going to go to pose mode. We're going to select all these bones. And I'm such a Blender newbie. I'm sure there's like better ways to do this. But this is how I'm going to do it. Go back to object mode. Scale him up. There we go. So this is great. He's in a T-pose. But here's the thing with T-poses. Are there plans for making it work live? I mean, in theory, yes, eventually. But I mean, we just got it out, so it's like that would be ideal, right? That's the goal. We'll get there. It's not planned for like the next month. You know what I mean? It's coming. We gotta fix. It's not doing hand animation first, so that's like the first update we're gonna do. Okay, so yeah, but we have this character. But remember when we got this character, it was in an A pose, and if we actually go to edit mode. It goes back to an A pose. So this is the character's rest pose. Even though it is in a T pose, when you are doing retargeting, which we're going to do, retargeting is taking your motion capture and putting it onto a character. Your character their rest pose needs to be the same pose, rest pose, as your mocap. So in our case, Rokoko will always spit out and here's the dance wonky arm. Rokoko, and I'm going to import it, FBX import, automatic bone orientation. Rokoko will always spit out a T-pose, which is very intentional because you need the character to be matching the initial pose. And you can see that pose 1, if we hit play, our mocap will start going. But that first frame is a T-pose, right? Which is what we want. So in order to get our character, remember, our character is actually in an A pose. And let's just go through and do this retargeting right now. So we have tutorials on how to do this retargeting. Use the Rokoko plugin. We have a retargeter. Source is going to be my mocap. Target is going to be my armature. Build bone list. For some reason, it likes to duplicate spine too for some reason, but make sure these are all okay. Usually it happens automatically, especially if you're using a Mixamo. And let's retarget. And this is what you're going to get. So you can see it retargeted to the rest pose of my character. So on frame 1, this is my mocap. It's in a T pose. But my character on frame 1 is in an A pose. And if we play, those arms are going to be offset by that difference. I don't know if you can see me. Let's, you know, the difference between a T pose and an A pose, they're going to be armpit audio. They're going to be offset by that amount. So that is a problem. So let's undo. Let's see if we can undo all that. Yeah, we can. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use a plugin called the Cats plugin. And we have a tutorial for this on our YouTube channel. It's called Fixing Blender A Pose, and it goes over how to use cats. But essentially, if I select my character, start pose mode, now I can correct this, put this guy in a T pose, and then also, so you can see Rokoko mocap's T pose. The legs are quite like close. So I'm actually going to even move the legs in. And this is just going to help us get a better retarget. And then hit apply as rest pose. So you can alternatively, there's like apply as rest pose. It's native in Blender. That never works for me really. Oh man, Godot. I don't know about that. Yeah, we have no plans for that right now, unfortunately. Hello, Square Peg. Are there restrictions with resolution, frame rate, video type file? For the contest, there are restrictions. It needs to be 8 seconds at 24 frames a second, and it needs to be in a 3:5 aspect ratio, so a portrait aspect ratio. All these details are on the rules list, so search there. But anyway, so now I have, if we go to edit mode now, look at this. That character ain't moving. So this is now the rest pose for our character. And now, when we go and we do our retargeting, reference is the source, armature is the target, build bone list, again, spine 2. And if we were to leave this as spine 2 and hit retarget, it says, oh, you can't duplicate it. It'll give you a warning. And look at this. Looks dope. So now we got these arm issues to fix. So if I wanted to fix this, at this point, we don't need our mocap anymore. Delete my mocap. Now I just got my character, right? If we wanted to fix this in FK, and FK is essentially when to move the wrist bone where it is, you would have to first move the rest of your chain. So you'd have to move the upper arm, the forearm, and then the hand, right? We want to be editing things in FK with an FK control rig. And so I'm going to go through a workflow on how to do that. If you don't, and that's only using a Mixamo character it only works with. If you don't want to do that, there's auto rig pro workflows that I don't really know that well. You can also just open up the nonlinear animation thing here, and we could say add a layer. And then, like in pose mode, we could go in, and as long as, where is it? Blending combine is on, we could, like right here, you see this this arm issue? We could like add a keyframe on this arm. Which I think we're on the, no, we're not on the wrong one, right one. So that's the, and I think we could add a keyframe here. I have a tutorial on this, but you would essentially, you'd have to do like each bone. I'm not sure if I'm even doing this right. Yeah, so I am. So you could do it this way. There's a much better way. But anyway, that's the basic retargeting workflow. Now let's say we wanted to do it using the Mixamo control rig add-on. So this is going to be way easier. So we're going to go through that whole process again. We're going to import our FBX. Oh God, we got to delete those keyframes again. But we're going to do it. We're going to go get our character that we rigged on Mixamo. Import FBX. It's tiny. Go to pose mode. Select all these bones. Get rid of these two keyframes. Go back to object mode. Scale this sucker up. So we need to fix this A pose problem again. So we're going to fix that first. You always have to fix that. Start pose mode. Choop. Choop. Arms go up. Legs go in. Oh. There we go. Applies rest pose. Okay. So this is a little bit complicated, but this is a workflow that's from Shutter Authority. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create a copy of this fellow right here, a copy armature. And on this armature, we're going to retarget our mocap. Dance wonky arm. So we're just going to do that using the same way that we would with the Rokoko plugin that we just went through. Source, armature 01, that copy armature, remember? Get rid of the spine, retarget animation, boom, it's done. Okay, we can actually get rid of our mocap at this point. If we play it, so now what we have is we have mocap that's been applied to a Mixamo character and is on a Mixamo skeleton. The reason that we need to do that is because we have this Mixamo control rig add-on. There's another add-on from the Blender Marketplace. And if you get it, you can add a control rig to any character you've rigged on Mixamo. So we rigged this character on Mixamo. If I bring it into Blender and I hit create control rig, I'm not going to hit apply animation, but IK arms and legs, okay. Now we've got a control rig on our Mixamo character. What's great about this plugin is you can also add animation, but it's designed to add animation from Mixamo. So basically you would download some animation from Mixamo and you would just select that here and it would add it into your control rig. Well, the mocap that we exported from Rokoko Studio, it's not on a Mixamo skeleton. And even our Mixamo skeleton option is currently not correct. So it doesn't Mixamo control rig won't recognize that skeleton. So what we had to do, we download our character that's a Mixamo character, put it into T-pose. We copy it. So we have our original character, our copy. We have our mocap. We retarget our mocap onto our copied character, and then we bring the mocap from the copied character onto our Mixamo control rig. We'll create a tutorial for this, and I think I have one in the free project file already. But the important thing to know is that now we can just add armature, apply animation to control rig, bake animation. And at this point, if we get rid of that copy, wait a second. Hold on. This should work. Okay, apply. Oh, no. Right, so I was on armature 01. So you have to be on the armature, right? Apply animation to control rig. It doesn't look like it's doing it. Bake animation. Okay, so we need to do this reference copy in this case, and then bake animation. Oh God, no. Okay, interesting. So I've missed a step here. What did we do wrong? Update control rig? No. Bother. I had this workflow all worked out. So let's try this again because I want to see if I can get it. Okay, import our character. Let's do that first. This is why live streams can be good. It's because you see people work things out in real time. Okay, our character rate is tiny. It's so annoying. Which I'm sure, again, I could fix on the import settings, but I don't want to. Pose mode. Delete these keyframes. Now this is the part where I just start muttering to myself. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh, left foot. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I'm in pose mode. Why? Okay. Scale this guy up. Okay, now we need to go into cats. Start pose mode. And if we can't get this, we're just gonna move on to cinema because I know that this does work. And I'm just gonna, I think it's, we still went over the typical workflow. Couple questions. Are there restrictions for importing video to Rokoko video for Mocap? I don't think so. I mean, 300 megabytes is kind of the limit. No, video capture can't be keyframing for sure, but it's just a good place to start. I have a question. If I rotocell from my background, yeah, in theory that would be better. And what's going on? What's going on, Benji? Benji 3D. Okay, so now we have our character. It's in a T-pose. Okay, so now what did I go to duplicate or what did I do differently? Okay, I kind of want to save this guy. Mix workflow. Okay, we're saved. I think what I created a copy. Yeah, okay. Now I need to go get my mocap. Now on this armature, I'm going to create a Mixamo control rig. So at this point, if we go to pose mode, yeah, so he is on an IK control rig, so that's good. Now we just need to copy, we need to retarget our animation onto armature 01, which is our copy. It also might be retarget. I don't know what this what is this reference copy business? It's like not applying. Mixamo spine retarget, RSL retarget. Reference copy. That's so bizarre. I need to like bake the animation. I mean, normally, I don't know why it's creating this reference copy. Do I have something checked bizarrely? That's new. There shouldn't be a reference copy. If I delete. Oh, okay. Wait, no. Yeah, so it's not applying. Oh, bizarre. Okay, so that's something else that is, maybe this is a 3.4 issue or something. But it's actually not applying the animation. So normally what it does is it copies all the keyframes from your Rokoko mocap onto the character rig, but it's not doing that because I'm on live stream and it's deciding to be annoyed. This all looks right. Retarget animation. This might be a 3.4 issue. Because this Mixamo control rig. Yeah, it's not doing its thing. Oh, maybe I could. Sorry, I'm just rambling. I'm just trying to figure this out. Bake animation. No. Okay. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a 3.4 thing. Anyway. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to Cinema 4D. This was a good, fun thing. We went through Blender retargeting, and then I got distracted, but hopefully that was helpful. And we will have tutorials that are based on each of these softwares, hopefully coming out before January. Is the plan. Okay, so now we're going to go into Cinema 4D, and I'm going to use Cinema 4D R 2023, which is amazing. And I've been absolutely loving. And then we're going to hop into Unreal afterwards. But in Cinema 4D, there's another great workflow that hopefully will... it's the same kind of thing. For Mixamo characters, there's a great Mixamo control rig workflow. The best workflow for retargeting is Maya. It just is. Maya's the best for retargeting. It's just because it's been around so long and it just has a really good way of doing things. Most people don't, in our demo, don't use Maya. Next is best is Blender, and now Cinema has a pretty good workflow that I'm liking, but it's never going to be as good as Maya, unfortunately. So, okay. For this one, we're going to re-rig a new character. Remember that I wanted to do Batman, and we have a Batman model that I have that's a cute little Batman. Batman for Mixamo. And he's got a little cape, and this is especially important because I want to do a long tutorial about, not long, but a short actually tutorial about capes, because the new Cinema 4D soft body dynamic system is so good, and it makes working with capes so easy. And we're going to get this guy's cape going. So we need to rig this again on Mixamo, so we're just doing the basic Mixamo rig. This is just a mesh. And of course, his cape is going to be all sorts of weird, but that's okay because we're going to end up adding some dynamics to his cape. Ruben, we definitely have videos on how to do it in Maya. If on our YouTube channel, you just search up Maya editing control rig workflow. It's super easy. It's super great. I use it all the time in my standard workflow. I always use Maya, and then I go to Cinema 4D for all my actual scene building and exporting, or Unreal or whatever. But I do all my retargeting in Maya because it's just really good. So boom, look at this. Mixamo rigged, right? We're going to go get a T-pose. We're going to download it. Now we got Batman. Assume this is a Batman model we found somewhere, right? So in Cinema 4D, how do we retarget this? So we're going to go to downloads. We're going to grab Batman. Look what we got. We got Batman. Looking good. All rigged up. So if we want to get our Rokoko animation, remember we actually exported, and while I'm doing this, let's go back to Rokoko video. Do the final clip and see what that last clip looked like. You can see my messiness here. Whoa, don't do that, whatever you were just gonna do. Remember, this is all one clip that we made earlier in the stream. We just recorded one clip. How weird are we allowed to be for the contest? Super weird. I think, like, again, Batman, like, getting startled, or, you know, don't be super NSFW because we won't be able to show it. That's the only thing. Like, I know this is like a dating app, but, like, if you go just like pure not safe for work, we won't be able to show it. So don't do that. But you can be super weird. I think the weirder the better, right? These are judges from the world of CG. They like weird. Okay, but we did export out our Batman. So if we go and we import it into Cinema 4D, Batman Scared. About 490 frames. Here we go, look. You can see it's leaning forward. So this is something that we could fix with editing. So hopefully we'll be able to get through that. But let's say we just wanted to retarget it, right? We don't care about fixing things. We just want to retarget it. Well, it's actually really easy in Cinema. We would just go to our, this is our characters. And let's group our character. Call this Batman. Call this Mocap. And for our character on their hips, we're going to add a rigging tag, character definition. If we hit open manager, extract skeleton. So this is making the bone list for our character. And you can see if we go in hips, it's like, oh yeah, those are the hips. If we go to click on spine, look, it went and grabbed the spine bones, right? So it does this pretty automatically if it's Mixamo. Otherwise, you can manually go in and add things to each thing, the clavicle, the bicep, right? Set reference pose means the T pose is how we want the reference pose for the mocap to be, which our mocap's in a T pose. So we're gonna do the same thing for our mocap. Go to rigging tags. We're gonna add a character definition, open manager, extract skeleton. Make sure it's all looking correct, which it does. Set reference pose. And if we just want to get the mocap onto our character now, again, we've got bone maps essentially for our mocap and for our character. Hit create solver, drag our mocap into the source, hit play. Look what we got here. We got Batman. Okay, and we are going to go through a workflow right now on how to do control rig editing for Mixamo characters. But before we do that, we gotta add some cloth sim to this. So the best thing about cloth sims for me has been capes. It's so easy to add capes now. So I'm gonna select Batman. I wanna make all of Batman, which is one mesh. This is all one mesh. The cape, it's all one thing. If it was separate parts, I'd just select the cape. But we're going to add cloth to Batman. If I were to hit play now, look, he's cloth. I mean, oh God, it's so good at doing cloth. It's just amazing that it can do that. Look at that. It's incredible. Let's add a plane. I just got to get on a tangent for a second. Add a plane. Collider. Oh my God. Look at how good it is. It's amazing. Oh, so incredible. But we don't want that, right? What we want is just the cape. So what we're gonna do is on Batman, we're gonna go to other. We're gonna go to vertex map. And then we're gonna paint in, we double click vertex map and it's on absolute. We wanna do unclick visible only, so it's everywhere that our cursor. And we're gonna paint the cape green. Kind of, you know, because we don't want to get Batman. We just want the cape. So you can see there's some red we didn't get over there. We want to get everything green as much as possible. And now, if we go to the cloth tag, we go to mix animation, turn on with force, put in our vertex map, turn this strength to 100. Now it's saying anywhere that's red, have it follow the original animation. But anywhere it's green, apply the cloth. And golly, Kansas, if we hit play, look what we got now. We got a dynamic cape stuck on his arm. Look at that. It's so good. And like we could fix it and make it better. It's stuck on his thing right there. What we could do to like start is we could go and select. We could like do something like this. Maybe. Right. Oh. Incredible. Dynamic cape. And this can work way better, right? Obviously. Throw a subdivide on this guy. He looks great. Batman. Okay, but what if we wanted to do this all with a Mixamo control rig? So new project. Let's bring Batman back in. Go to downloads. Open it up. Okay, so now we are going to add a Mixamo control rig, and we'll see if I can get this on the first go if we have the same problem that we just had. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to on set bind pose. We're going to select this waiting tag. I'm going to hold down shift, click this. So that means that now this is the rest pose for this skeleton, which is good. We need that. I'm also going to go and I'm going to add the character definition tag right now. I could do this later. I'm going to do it now. Extract skeletons, set reference pose. Okay. Now we're going to go to character and we're going to select a character object. So this is where we're going to build our control rig. And if you click on this character object and we go down to template, Mixamo control rig. So this is why this only works. Yeah, the mocap code monkey, what's going on? Luke, what's going on? The mocap can be used anywhere. It's just mocap. So it's got a different skeleton, but it can be used anywhere, right? You could retarget it onto a DAZ skeleton in Blender even if you needed to. Like export a character from a DAZ, retarget it onto it in another program, and then bring it back into DAZ on a DAZ skeleton. But yeah, it's just mocap. It's just a skeleton. Same as Mixamo, just named differently. Okay, so we got our character. We selected Mixamo control rig. We're going to add a root. We're going to add a pelvis. We're going to hold down control and click arm. It'll create the right and left arm. Click the arm and add hands. Go back to pelvis. Control click leg. It added 2 legs. Boom. And here comes the real moment of truth. If we go back up to root and we click adjust. Yes. So you see how it's snapped on. So again, you can add control rigs for any type of skeleton, but if it's Mixamo, it has this template and it just plays really well. So that's why I think this really works the best for Mixamo. When it goes for binding, or actually animate, what we're gonna do is we gotta find the geometry of Batman. Throw it down into weight transfer, hit transfer weights, and then also hit retarget all. And now, what do we got here? We got an IK rig on our Mixamo character. So let's go get some mocap, right? Let's get that Batman scared mocap in the mix now. Import it. Same as last time, we're gonna add a character control rig, character definition, sorry. Open manager, extract skeleton, set reference pose. And now in our Mixamo character, we're going to create that solver again. Drag in this hips. And if we hit play, so it's not going to update Batman in real time. We're going to have to bake it for that to happen. But you can see that it is retargeted, right? And whenever we hit stop, it snaps into place, kind of. Right? And how many? 490. Okay, so in order to get this mocap actually onto our character's skeleton, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to the dope sheet and we're gonna select all the children of our character. So all of the bones of our character, select children. That selected every bone in our character. We're gonna go to functions, bake objects, uncheck create copy, and clean tracks, hit OK. So now we're baking to our character's skeleton. And what that is going to do is give us, go back to startup. We can delete our mocap now, we don't need it. We now have a character that has mocap on it, but guess what it also has? It has a control rig. So say we want all the mocap to be down there. Maybe we want it to be up here. Maybe we want him to be rotated the whole time. Maybe we want him like that. So powerful and amazing, especially because, okay, we got this arm issue. First of all, this is not, okay, we got Batman, right? We're making our Rokoko video submission. Issue number 1, we're framing up. Let's make the camera, and you can tell I'm a lot more comfortable in Cinema than I am in Blender. But here, we got the camera at the right ratio, 1080 by 1350, which actually I think there's a minimum resolution, but it's in this aspect ratio. But this is how it should look, right? We got a dating profile. First problem, he's not looking the right way. So what are we gonna do? We gonna grab that head control, and we're gonna turn it. And guess what? The rest of the animation, this head is now looking the right direction. Issue number 2. We got this hand. It doesn't wave in the place that I want it to wave, really, right? It should. So I'm going to add a keyframe here. Pop. While with that hand selected. When it comes up, I want it to be back here. Keyframe. So now look, it's there. And then we could even edit it like, oh, we want the wave to be better. I kind of think he should like, and we'll add a camera and then move. And we can do like some edits here. You know, and we could keep doing this, and then I could add a keyframe and then create a copy of the original. Get the hand back to where it normally was. And then like this is the really glaring issue, right? On this one. So if we definitely don't want it to be doing that. I'm going to turn auto keying on, and then bam, right here. We're just going to bring it back into where it should be. So this is really powerful, and this is kind of what this is how you want to be editing, right? And we could continue to make that better. We might need to actually go from like maybe the, actually I want to see if I can fix this. Okay, so I would, this is the problem. Keyframe here. Maybe this will be easier in the top view. Oh, or I could even delete the data, like, from the hand of this. So it shouldn't be doing this either, right? Something like this. Oh, and then right here, we need to add a keyframe and then go grab that original. Maybe that needs to happen. So we could keep smoothing this out, but that looks a lot better. So that hand is still very wonky, but you could see how editing in this way is a lot better. So that's kind of the control rig workflow for cinema. And then of course we could go and do the same thing for the cape. You know, add a cloth tag, add an other vertex map, go in, paint this guy. Greeny, green, green. And then also we could like go in and do the same thing that we did last time, which was select the cape and just make sure that it's not interfering on the first frame. Let's make it like that maybe. Mix animation with force, add the vertex map, boom, 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 boom. And now let's see. Yeah, so, I mean, and now like the dynamic cape makes it so much better. You need to fix this. I think we need to turn on some dampening or something. But the dynamic, or just make that a separate. We could also just make this cape a separate object because I think the cloth is getting to this guy. But man, just a dynamic cape just makes everything so much better. Linear edit. So I can put my animation on my character in Mixamo, and in Blender I can retarget the armature with Mixamo Blender to put my Rokoko animation on it. I'm not sure if I am following that. Mixamo add-on. Yeah. The Mixamo add-on, yeah, you just have to go to the intermediary skeleton. You have to retarget it to a Mixamo skeleton. And then you have to take that Mixamo skeleton with the mocap on it and put that on the Mixamo add-on. So there was a Shutter Authority live stream that we did a long time ago where he goes through all of it. So that's a place to check out. Dom, yes, we are totally taking random questions about Rokoko video. No flow at all. I'm just muttering to myself out here and trying to make Batman have a cape. I think we're going to jump into Unreal now, though. But please, Dom, like, that's why I'm here. This is the whole point of these things, is to talk workflow questions and yeah. Okay, so, and while you type out that question, I'm going to create an Unreal project. And I'm not going to get into the control rig, I don't think, but because metahumans they keep shutting down my computer when I'm streaming, but Unreal Engine 5.1, and then because we're still in, so we just released on the marketplace our Rokoko plugin. On the Unreal Marketplace. Ooh, Monster Pumpkin. Look at that model. That looks good. But I don't know if it's working in 5.1 right yet. It says 5.1. Let's try. Yeah, so right now we're fixing this, but you can still get it on our GitHub page, or you can just use 5.0, which is what I'm going to use because it's already installed. We don't actually need the Rokoko plugin for this, but you would need it for face capture, kind of, I think. Man, I'm tempted to try and get the metahumans up and running, but I'm a little scared. Let's just do straight up retargeting first, and then we'll get into metahumans if not everything breaks down. So we're going to go to the Unreal folder. I'm going to call this Mixamo retarget. Create. And same thing, we're going to be using a Mixamo character. In this case, it doesn't really matter as much, but we're just going to use a Mixamo character because I think it's a good... Again, we went through the workflow of how to get a mesh into Mixamo and rig it, and I think that's going to be a lot of things. Has anyone tried skateboarding animation with this? I haven't seen it tried yet. The thing about Rokoko videos, you need the camera to be static. So you would need to film someone like on a skateboard. Just you couldn't take... Most skateboarding footage is following the skater, and the camera can't be moving for Rokoko video. You could maybe roto out the skater and put it in the middle of the screen, and it would be able to follow that. But if you got a skater and you just had them sit and do a kickflip, it would probably pick it up pretty good, I would think. Again, this is a free AI mocap tool. There's always going to be limitations, but it's can it be helpful getting you started? Can it be helpful in dipping your toes into this world, or creating some custom animations that you really can use, which you can do as well. I think it's better for like background MBCs probably, but I've seen some amazing stuff with Rokoko video so far. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We need to go and grab a character. So we're gonna create a new folder. We're going to call this Mixamo character, and we are going to import a character that I downloaded a little while ago. Desktop. Mixamo character T-pose. So this is a character. We don't need to import the animations. Yep. So this is just a standard character from Mixamo. This is like one of their characters. So this is, I think this guy, Vanguard. So I just downloaded him in a T-pose, right? Use this character. It's like, I need to refresh it for it to pick up the new character. And so you go in a T-pose, you down. Unbelievable. So it crashed me again. God, Unreal. I think something about my GPU is like not digging Unreal these days. So we went through all of this last week, so maybe we'll kind of just leave it there. Luke Williams, do I have a girlfriend? I do. I've got a wife, believe it or not. Just reading the questions. Yeah, maybe we'll kind of call it there, and then I can get... So again, we, if we go to our, Rokoko... Rokoko Motion. If we go to the Rokoko YouTube channel, you go to videos, you go to live. Last week, we actually did this with Unreal, and I had the same crashing problem, so that's why as soon as I opened up MetaHumans, I started getting crashes. But in this video, we go through the whole workflow for Unreal. So I might not do that right now, and instead save that for just a tutorial that we're going to release. It just keeps, Unreal keeps, it's OBS plus Unreal plus probably NVIDIA Broadcast, but it's crashing my GPU, which is shutting down OBS, and that's why the stream keeps getting like knocked out, is it shuts down OBS, and then I have to quickly reopen up OBS. But let me go and Rokoko. Rokoko motion. Okay, let's go, and I want to go and grab. So if we go to, and I hope it's here. Copy link. I want to add it. I want to make sure that this is added to our. Hold on. I just want to add this live. So in the description below. Okay, so it is in the description below. Good. So if you go to the link in the description below, which is this link that I'm popping in the, oh God, in the chat right here. Not that though. Hold on. I'm just going to go there myself in G Drive where I maintain all of these assets. But basically the link in the description below that says, you know, go to all of our free mocap that we've made before. So that is directing to, hold on, Rokoko free mocap files. It is directing to this link, which again should be in the description below, but is right here. And this link takes you to this G Drive page where we have a bunch of things that I've recently added onto here. Reality Jump, what's going on? Sam the man. Nice, Tayo. And again, I think Dom, man, if you have any questions, like throw them in. If anybody has any questions, throw them in, because I think we're going to end the stream before I get into the Unreal crashes it again. Sorry, beard hair. So we have the Cinema 4D retargeting workflow. So this is that whole workflow that we just went through. There's a video that goes through it. There's a video on how to set up the, I think we go through, the control rig, all of that stuff. And there's a free project file. There's also a free face rig that I made recently. Free Unreal project files. Here's that Rokoko video Mixamo project file for Unreal. We have all of our free mocap. We have a Maya Mixamo project. We've got Unreal bone maps. There's just a bunch of things here. So if you are looking for free project files, this is a place you can go. 3.4 has been working fine. I don't know why I got this bizarre control rig error, but are on like weirdly scaled characters in Blender for the Mixamo control rig, I think, or something. So I'm not sure, but 3.3 works. 3.4 works too. Man, the stream is just struggle bus. So I think we might call it right here. We'll be back next week. I'm going to do my best to be on the Discord. But yeah, you know, I really encourage, Rokoko Video A is just fun to go grab and play around with. So please go do that. Beyond that, we have this contest, Love at First Move. You know, all you have to do is use Rokoko Video. We have all these amazing prizes. We're going to make a big montage video at the end. So there's that. Even if you don't win, you know, judges will still see your stuff. We're going to get some cool judges, which we're going to announce. I think we just are finalizing. But sorry, I went and I realized I wasn't showing the screen anymore. But yeah, go join our contest. It's going to be rad, and it's completely free. You know, Rokoko Video is free to use. And we have tons of tutorials on the channel about retargeting, and I will be back next week on Thursday, which I think is what is that? What is Thursday next week? Is it like on Christmas? No, 29th. So I'll be back on Thursday streaming, and yeah, we'll go through more stuff. Cool, everyone. I'm gonna call it here. How do you mix live link, face link live with Rokoko Video? So what I would do for that is go through Luke Williams. So you would go through, where is it? Hold on. Bother. you would go through our channel. Go to our live stream from last week. This is how you would do the retargeting. This will show you how to do retargeting in Unreal. Then you would just use the Unreal Rokoko plugin to live stream face capture data from Rokoko Studio onto that character, where you would, what I would do is I would record that in Unreal and then add it all to the character in Sequencer. But you still need a character that's rigged with facial blend shape. So metahumans, that will work. But otherwise, you need to get a character that is rigged for facial blend shapes. So that's how I would do it, right? Is I would live stream face capture data from Rokoko Studio to Unreal. And you could also, use Live Link too. Yeah, you could use their software, Unreal Engine software. You could use Rokoko's. It doesn't matter. You just need to get face data onto that character. You're just going to do them separately because you can't combine real-time facial motion capture with real-time AI mocap in Rokoko Studio, in Rokoko Video. So that currently isn't a thing. You need to take the recorded, because you need to use Rokoko Video for the contest. So you would need to record mocap in Rokoko Video, retarget that body mocap to your metahuman, and then do a separate live streaming of the face data from your phone onto the metahuman, combine them both in Sequencer, time them up. That's how you would do that. So next week, I hope I'll have, maybe I'll do it on like my laptop, but hopefully I'll have this issue with the Unreal and OBS crashing fixed. Because we'll have to do this in Unreal, and at the very least I'll have a tutorial going through all of that specifically for the contest. So, okay, that's it. I think we're gonna call it there. Again, thank you for tuning in, everyone. We will be back next week, which is the 29th, for more questions. You have until, where is it? Keep too many tabs going. Where's my, come on. You have until, let's go back to the page, the main page, January 27th. So there's plenty of time, but you might as well jump on it now. For this contest, I encourage you to join, and that's what we'll be doing every live stream. Peace out. See you guys and gals and people, and we'll see you back next week. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Participate in the challenge.